to look at from this JVM tuning. JVM. We were discussing JVM related parameters. So you have any question? We discuss about like how to configure the database related parameters, and there is one single document, right? 396009.1. That document you have to follow. In that document you can, using that document you can configure this optimizer you can configure, PGA size, SGA size you can configure, various other parameters you can configure using that single document. Actually, we were talking about like this JVM tuning for OC4J. JVM tuning for garbage collection. This is for garbage collection. We'll discuss about forms also. You see what are the parameters we discussed for this JVM. It is the XMS, XMX. These two parameters you need to set, right? Isn't it? For JVM, XMS and then XMX. Min heap, max heap, right? You know, other than that, we have this parameter. You need to allocate one more parameter is also important called max permanent size also. Plus you have this max permanent size. This particular, this particular area, separate area for objects like classes and methods. Separate another area which you have to allocate, other than this max area. So this is another area, like somewhere you can say 156. Suppose 156 MB or whatever 200 MB you allocate. This is max permanent size is independent of this heap area, independent of the heap. So here if you say this is 1024 MB, that means 1 gig, right? 1024 MB, 1 gig. 1 gig plus whatever, 156 and 256 also, so this is also another area. This is for special classes, methods. The heap is again divided into two actually, old and new. Old and new heap. So if you want to, there is something called new size parameter here. New size for new generation. This is for new generation. For example, 256. Right? This is for new generation heap. New generation heap. But this is calculated from XMX. This is calculated from XMX. So 1 gig minus 256. Minus 256. What's the total heap size? This is max heap. Total heap is this. The area which is used by JVM, right? The total heap is max. And from there minus this new size. This is for new generation. New generation heaps basically, you know, the frequently accessed objects, the most important objects basically will be maintained in this new area. Like as we can have, I said, right, separate, you know, keep pool, recycle pool concept, like keep pool. So some of the objects you can keep in new generation. New generation. So these are the important 2-3 parameters are there. XL, X, max permanent size. But you must understand that the max permanent size is independent of heap, and this is taken, new size is taken from the heap only. This is only for new generation. Okay. The total heap is XMX, and then how much? What is the size of the new generation and old generation? New size is new minus whatever remaining 700 whatever, that is old generation. New generation and old generation. Now there are proper guidelines have been given actually. What value you should allocate. So you, if you know the meaning, that's it for you. You don't need to really worry about this. What is this and this? Oracle give you guidance. There are proper guidelines are there. You said max this much. You said new generation this much. You said what you call max permanent this much. But what is max permanent size? You must know. Okay. And how do you calculate total memory? How do you know? Now total memory is what? 1 gig plus this, not this, because this is taken from this itself. So these are the basic things. That's very basic things. Okay. So these are the parameters. All these are parameters. And plus you know that we have these something called use parallel GC. Use parallel GC. You would like to use parallel garbage collector, more than one parallel garbage collector. It's parallel GC. From JDK 1.6 and above, parallel GC is automatically calculated. Parallel GC is automatically calculated. Now there is one issue we have. There is a problem. See, you know, if you don't do also, there is a big problem. That's it. Isn't it? Like why there are performance problems? We haven't done anything. That is also a problem. You have not configured anything. That itself is a problem. Okay. You just you are using the default. Now see the behavior from JDK 1.6. Now it is 1.6 only. From JDK 1.6 onwards, JDK automatically define these parallel GC, parallel garbage collectors, based on your server class machine. In how many processors are there? That many parallel GC will be configured. 4 processor, 4 GC. But again, if you look at Oracle, say that 2 are, in most of the cases, 2 are sufficient. You understand this analysis? So there is another parameter is there called use parallel GC. Parallel GC threads. So you know what? That means now it say that 2. So for example, if you don't, if you mention this 2 here, then what happens? It is going to be 2 others. If you don't mention 2 means what? Then it will be automatically calculated. And if it is automatically calculating, it is using as many CPU you have as. Okay, so that means Oracle is recommending for 12.1, I am saying your max 1 gig is good, and for 1 gig what do you call heap size, 1 gig heap size, your 2 parallel GC are sufficient. If parallel GCs are more, then again it will have a performance problem, unnecessary. So you got it. So we must have to mention that second. What are the parallel GC threads? You must specify 2 there. If you don't mention 2, it's a problem. Like for example, same thing is there from Oracle 11G database onwards. I remember the same thing here. The 11G database onward, DOP, degree of parallelism, is automatic now. but that is leading to many problems. Degree of parallelism is automatic, but that is leading to various problems. Okay. DOP in Oracle core database level I am talking about. Degree of parallelism is automatic. Again, which is not good actually. No. CPU no. Parallel GCS are 2. So 2 means whatever your number of CPUs, it will garbage collector will be only 2. Suppose if you don't mention the value, then Oracle will calculate, JDK will calculate how many it wants, no, fix per CPU it will take. So if you have 4 CPU, it will say 4 garbage collector, and those 4 are not necessary. So though you don't leave it to it, like, because it is making wrong calculation. So we must have to have 2. And another important thing, we used to, like, these are basic things are there. So we used to say what is mean actually? 5, 12. So we are giving min and max 5, 12. So at runtime it is, what is the maximum we are allocating? Maximum how much we are giving? 1 gig. But initially it is taking how much? 512. And then at runtime it is going for? Runtime it is going for 100. I have recently come across another suggestion, very good suggestion, that is also don't do that. That is also don't do that actually. This is also not a good idea. This is also same. This is very interesting. Better keep same actually. So runtime there shouldn't be any problem. Min, when you have decided max, min not a good idea. So at runtime no memory allocation. Memory allocation runtime means there is a problem, performance problem. 1 GB fix means fix. From the startup, how much heap size? 1 gig. Finish. That's good. So XMX and XMX must be same equal. That's another good suggestion. And you know that basically we have discussed for OC4J, OA4 guidance we have discussed, form guidance we have discussed, and OAFM. OAFM also need what? JV. OAFM also need JV. Oracle Application Fusion Middleware. This is another instance. Oracle Application Fusion Middleware. There is microphone. Open. Door open. First, we have to make sure, do we need it or not? First, if we need it, how to configure it? First, this is very important. See, you know that this particular OAFM use, when we are using this particular for web services, yeah, and what we said, map viewer. And this map viewer is used by transportation planning. There is a model called transportation planning. That model, or basically this transportation planning, that model is using map viewer. So suppose we are not using web services and there is no map viewer, we have to disable it. Say in a context file, you need to disable it. Okay? So there is a service is there, service group is there. OAFM, OA core, OAFM disable and run auto config. So when you disable it, then this particular instance will not be started. So better not to start it. If you are not using MapReader, suppose if you want this OAFM, if you want, then you know what? One JVM for 80 to 100 MapReader users. MapReader this is 80 to 100. And then you know that for one JVM, again you need to allocate heap and the processor, you know, one JVM, two processor, same thing. So first you must make sure that, like, do we need OAFM service instance or not? We need this particular service. If you need it, yes, it should be according to 100, 80 to 100. If MapReader users are more than 80 or 100, up to 100 you can say, more than 100, then you need 2 JVM. And if you need 2 JVM, you know that processor. Okay, or else this instance can be disabled also. Same value actually. Yeah, this is nprop, right? S underscore OAFM nprop. So this is all right. S OA core nprop. Now so here S OA FM nprop. S OA core nprop for OA core. S forms nprop for forms. This is for OAFM. S OAFM nprops for number of JVMs. So you can define this number of JVMs, say 1 for example. 1 JVM. And in the document it is given the default memory is there somewhere, you know, 100 GB, 126 GB, that is enough. Memory also you don't worry about this JVM. Or this JVM, the JVM called OAFM. You know, we were actually in the last session we were talking about actually forms tuning, like tuning forms. So first point, like you better change the connection mode to what? Socket, right? So but it is strongly recommended to basically use socket connection mode, use socket. And the other guidelines are there, so which we have to follow, the other guidelines for tuning, forms tuning. The other guidelines is that you know, there are certain like in these forms we have something called cancel query feature is there. Cancel query feature is there. So that cancel query feature is a very good feature, but whenever that cancel query feature is enabled for the forms, it is consuming it consumes a lot of CPU cycles. So you should not use it and be careful. So in fact, don't use it, do not use, or be careful, care in a feature. What is that? Cancel query feature. Cancel query feature. And how you do this? There is a profile there. FND enable cancel query. Enable cancel query. So you know what? If you say no means it is disabled, yes means enable. So this is the profile name. You know what is profile, right? Profile. This is the profile name. Enable cancel query. So here I am saying like don't use or be just careful. You know, even if you want to use this cancel query feature, then you can give it to a specific form. What is cancel query? You know, when a user run a query in a form, then that option will appear, cancel query. So even after submitting a query, user can cancel that query. Okay, this feature is good, but this is causing a lot of CPU cycle. Okay, just imagine, like, you know, a query has been given, and while the query is running, you will be able to cancel it. So that means this you know, like you can say this particular cancel query program, this is going to make system calls regularly. It's going to make system calls, interrupts. If user says that cancel means, it should be able to go and cancel the query. So the moment you run a query, then that program starts, and unnecessarily it is using more CPU cycles. So this feature is good, but it is taking more resources, CPU cycle. Even if you want to enable never do at site level, never site level, you can give it, you know, profile can be set at user level also. Even if you want to enable cancel query, you can enable at a particular form level or a user level. So cancel query, and then you know, enable forms dead client detection. Forms dead client detection. Enable forms dead client detection. So what happens actually when some users basically log out, their session may not be clear. It's a dead connection. So you know, so here you need to specify there is something called forms timeout. Forms timeout time. Say 30 seconds, minutes, 30 minutes. This is another profile. So that means every 30 minutes it is going to detect for the dead client connection, and it will be clear. So sometimes user don't properly close the form session, and it happens actually. Sometimes you may find that at the OS level some form processes are running. At OS level some form processes are running. So they are runaway processes. So you may have to kill those processes. Sometimes form processes must be killed at OS level. And also it is a good idea and kill forms and runaway processes. Forms, runaway processes. Kill forms and runaway processes. Let's say runaway. That means it is the user has exit, but still the process is running. The form process. You know, we discussed already that when a user login, a form process will be started. A process will be started, and when user log out, the form process will be closed. Just even if user has log out, but the process still running. So if your PS have in here WebMX, you know, WebMX, the process WebMX. So you'll be able to see at OS level some processes are running. Runaway processes are running. These runaway processes can be like, you know, could be belong to any other program. So we always have to look at all the processes, runaway processes, and we have to kill it. So these are the guidelines for forms today. Now we have to do this issue. And then second, so these are very basic things, but very important for form performance. No frequent forms open and close during the transaction. This is so simple. Like, user should not close and open the form, especially during the transactions, or frequently, you can say. For a user, it is so easy. Just click, a form is open. Just another click, form is closed. But look at the database. What happens when a form is open? When session will be started. When a form is open, when session, what is that? The PJ memory, the server process will be started. PJ memory will be allocated, and just another click. कितना आसान है, आराम से click, click. कैसा करना है? क्या करना है? Click, click. कितना आसान है? But how much load is coming to database? अरे यार बंद कर, click कर रहा हूँ. Database will get angry. It is so easy. Users, basically, they are responsible for creating most of the performance problems. They generally, you know what they do actually? It is a bad habit actually. They, they open the form now, so the transaction is not completed. They say, okay, close, and again I will open the next. But there is a lot of load is coming to database. Second, users another problem, switch off responsibility, switching responsibility. Switching responsibility. Open queries. These are the major problem of performance. This plus responsibility switch, responsibility switching responsibility plus open queries. Open queries. These are all going to create performance problem. These are all going to create performance problem. Okay. If all users decide now, I'm telling you DBA has to leave, run. I'm telling you yes. All users if decided that this DBA is not good guy, they're finished, gone. If all 100 users at a time click, the DBA has to run away, I'm telling you. Of course, you have to find out some way out, how you have to make them run. But if first they will make you run out, I'm telling you. Run, literally run, I'm saying, run. Huge performance problem will come. They are doing nothing at a time. 100 sessions, open, 100 session close. Is it easy? No. One of the most important part of the lesson of tuning database I will tell you. You know what? Some people say that it is better to have an idle session. It is better to have idle session. Then session is started, session is closed. It is better to have idle session. The session should not be open and closed. If the session is idle, it is good, very good actually. Okay. So some people, oh, idle sessions are not good. No, idle sessions are better actually. Okay. What is the solution for this responsibility switch responsibility? When a user switch responsibility, what happens, you know? It is going to take more CPU cycle. Switch responsibility is taking more CPU. See what activity of a user is creating what problem, that you must do. Switching responsibility. So then there is a solution. You know what? Actually, open closing form solution is we have to, there is a way we have to monitor and we have to tell users. But switching responsibility, user can't do nothing because there are two responsibilities are there. A user want to say, I want to work with that module, so responsibility. So we have to combine the forms of different products in one menu and one responsibility. So instead of giving two responsibility to user, it should be one responsibility simply. So there is an option, is it? Okay, one responsibility. So here there is a what is that? Combine the forms of different products. Okay, combine forms of multiple products. Of multiple products, multiple related products. Meaning you know what you can do? GL forms, inventory forms, you can put it in one menu and you can call that menu through a responsibility. So when a user log into one responsibility, from one responsibility, user will be able to access what? Inventory module, purchasing module, whatever. Through one single responsibility, user can access two module or three module. Fine. There is no question of what? Switching. You give two responsibility to user will switch. You give one responsibility, user will not switch. Open queries. End users, you know what they do? You know, control F4 and then control, F4, then enter the criteria and then what? How do you conditionally run a query? There is a customer form is there, there is an order form is there. How? First F4, enter the order number and then press control F11. Right? Who's going to do this? Direct control F11. Now say direct control F11 means what? All means what? Full table scan, unnecessary. Just imagine, network problem, full table scan problem, so much problem. And this is what end user they do. Most of the time end user they do. Control F11. One of the reasons we studied that why end users are doing this, because they don't feel comfortable when they want to enter some condition criteria, when they don't feel comfortable, when they don't get all the proper field, they press control F11. So we need to study the end user that, yes, this is all things are required actually, okay. So when a user is going to perform a query on a form, on what basis, on what condition criteria he is going to enter, okay. So is he feeling comfortable or not? So we used to study that and we used to provide, or we used to ask developer to provide all the custom field and all that. But these are all the facts. These are the things. User don't log out properly, that is also going to create problem, you know very well. Users don't log out properly, this is also going to create. So these are all things are performance. Now you see here, we are talking about monitoring and troubleshooting forms issues. Now e-business suite monitoring means, you have to monitor so many things, right? You have to monitor online users, concurrent jobs you have to monitor, and then you have to monitor the resources at OS level resources, the network level resources, you have to monitor overall monitoring, right? But here, one thing is that the concurrent requests, actually, concurrent requests, monitoring and troubleshooting. Or the particular forms. As in the last session we discussed that if a user is calling you, say that my request is running slow. So you have seen what you have to do. Okay, let's see this. Let's discuss this actually. So basically we are talking about troubleshooting some of the performance issues which are complained by the users. Okay. And overall monitoring, how we can do. Now the first, let's start with this. A user is calling you, they are saying that I submitted a request and it used to take 30-40 seconds. Now it is running for more than 10 minutes. What is the first thing? What is the first thing you say?
I will go and check the request status.
Running. He himself is saying it is running.
Any locks on the database?
Any
Locks on the database.
logs. That's a concurrent program actually. That's a concurrent. You said what? Whether that particular concurrent job is customized, you want to say? Any other area? Yeah, that's like you say that, like you're saying that like first you will find out whether it is changed or not.
Any major changes like users got added extra or what we discussed earlier?
Right now I'm talking about, like say one report is running slow suddenly. What is the first thing you would like to check? One report. He's saying clearly that before it used to take 30-40 seconds, now more than 10 minutes. So what is the first thing you check? That concurrent program, that report. Yes, of course. You know what we have to do? Whether that particular report has been modified, changed. After the change it is happening means, some change, because of that it may be happening. Okay, but suppose if there is no change also, that report is not changed. So where we have to look at then next? No, but it is running.
Whether some other query is running already.
No, it is, but this is also running. Okay. No, but it is running now. That is, it is pending. There is also a complaint that I submitted request from last 10 minutes, still it is the status showing pending. That is also another issue we have. But here what I am saying that it is already running is saying.
Rapid data growth into those tables pertaining to that query.
Problem with RW.
RW? Report now? Well, actually, if suddenly that is running, if it is taking more time, and if it is not changed, if it is changed, at least we can blame, that is because modified it is, but it is not changed also. So no, I tell you, like some change might have happened definitely. So if that report is not changed, means some change might be at the backend side. So what are the areas you have to look at? The optimizer statistics, the index fragmentation issues. See, what you are saying that sudden there is a growth, but you were saying that maybe yesterday or maybe 1 hour back or maybe yesterday evening I was running, then it was okay. Now suddenly such a growth cannot be such a fast, right? Isn't it? So what are the areas we have to check? Change, did we make any changes in the backend database? No, we didn't make any change, but still, we are always gathering statistics, or maybe index getting fragmentation. So, statistics, index fragmentation issues, or optimizer, what optimizer is doing, we have to check whether optimizer is going for full table scan or range scan. So suddenly optimizer, one time we found that optimizer is going for full table scan. Earlier it was going for range scan, now it was going for full table scan. So because of what? Optimizer's sudden decision. So because of the statistic collection, when you gather statistics, you don't expect that performance will go, performance may go down also. Sometimes when you gather statistics, because there is a change in execution plan. You know, from 11G onwards, what Oracle did for statistics, a very good enhancement in 11G for statistics. In till 10G, what happened? The moment you gather statistics, immediately it will be used by optimizer. Now in 11G, you can gather it, but you are not going to release it. You gather the statistics, but optimizer will not use it. You can keep it what? Pending. So this pending, and later you can publish. During peak time, don't publish. I think you people have to study that. If you don't know, it's okay, but now you study about, there is a new behavior of statistics collection from 11G. It's all about pending and publish, which is very good actually. Okay, which is very good feature actually. So you understand, so we have checked because of that changes, or if some changes have taken place after those changes. Okay, now you see there is a client, and these are all questions you're going to face. There is one guy is calling you and saying that my jobs are running slow. Now before that, one is specific, my jobs are running slow. Every jobs are running slow. Okay, every jobs are running slow. What is the first thing you do? One guy is saying that my you know, he is, let's say, is frustrated. Where can I come and where I can be today? He's very frustrated. Don't see him frustrated. Over the phone only, I said, we'll talk over phone, we are happy over the phone. He's very frustrated, he's saying, my jobs are going on, like, you know, what is the first thing you do? First thing. Which model? Right? Okay, which application is there? Yeah. Okay, good. Responsibility application. And then next? What do you do? A simple question. A user is calling you, say that, yeah, my forms are running slow, my reports are running slow. Which form? What the hell? Which form? All forms. What? ऐसे मुस्कुराएंगे ना? फोन पे तो मुस्कुरा भी नहीं सकते हैं. What is the first thing you will do? मुस्कुराऊंगा मैं. I will smile actually first. उसके बाद मुस्कुराने के बाद next. Last. Yes. Just give it one first. These are the yes. Yeah, मुस्कुरा हो गए वो finished. After next. But really, believe me, you have to. You will be more successful if you could smile. I'm telling you. Wallahi, if you could smile, you are the champ. You are the best. I'm telling you. You can solve any world problem. It's my 15 years experience. Even on the phone, you are trying to solve the problem. You bring a smile on the face. Believe me, you are 100% going to solve this problem. You are more tense, gone, finished. Your problem, you can't see that problem. It's a fact, you know. You solve problem, or whether it is visible, oh, that's okay, right? That's fine. Relax. But it is very toughest job. That's very toughest. It is easy to say, but very tough in that situation. But if you could able to do, oh, you are very good person. So what do you do? खाली मुस्कुराने वाला यार. You don't keep smiling also. Action. Now later you have to come to action. Anything? Any idea? No? I think that's it. You know, like this is a common question these days, right? Like basically, yes, Ram sir, could you try?
The database connectivity.
connectivity, no. He's saying that my jobs are running, but slow, he's saying.
CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, connectivity, blocks, waiting session.
But what you are saying is overall. See, and this is interesting thing. I said that one guy. So you know what the interesting thing situation is? No other users are complaining. One user is complaining. That is interesting. I said one user is complaining. No other users are complaining. So we have to check, is that guy facing problem or everybody facing problem? No, only that guy is facing problem. So at least can anybody take me quick answer what is now?
Disk connectivity to data.
It is there. Connectivity is there. He is able to run, but slow. So you know what? What we found that it is a problem with his client machine. It is a problem interesting with his client machine. Well, simple. So don't jump to conclusion. I asked, can you run your jobs? Can you open your forms from another system? He said that, oh yeah, fine, okay, good now. But from his system, there is a problem. But you have to trace, right? When we were tracing, what that guy, it happened to me, practically it happened to me. You know what that guy did? He installed some extra software in his system. He installed some fonts, some Chinese, some extra fonts, you know, multi-character set fonts he has installed. Something he did. After that, everything went off, performance. His client related issues. See, if one guy, everybody not, so we have to check these answers. In another case, what problem I face, you know, a user changed some profiles, user related profile of problem. Because of that, he was unable to log in also. Okay, another quick. There were 3-4 users. There are 3 or 4 or 5 users. One time it happened. They were complaining that we are unable to connect. Sometime our connection is going down. Sometime our session is hanging. So few users were complaining. So is it everybody complaining? No, only few users were complaining. Not at least. I think now you can say what area you will say.
The network is
Good, actually, networking issues. You know what happened? Actually, there were few guys. They were connecting from first floor. You know, it was a I think multi-story building. People were accessing from different departments. So few guys were unable to connect. So we said maybe it is related to network. You know, yes, of course. You know, what network guys they changed some network cabling scheme and some switches and all that. After they started facing problem. And when we asked the network people, then it was not our problem actually, but it comes to you only definitely. Then the problem was fixed. A few users unable to connect from one particular section means, oh, we can think, oh, it is a network. It happened actually. And one user's meet, it is a problem with the client machine also. Client machine or profiles. One user issue, client machine, profiles, network. Then if every user is saying that, you know, we are facing problem, is it? In another case, it happened that, it happened to me, this is all I am sharing with you what. In one case, you know, users of a particular module, I think it was maybe payable module, I think, they were complaining that whenever we were opening forms, we are unable to open forms of payable module. We were unable to open the modules of payable modules. What do you do? You know what happened and all that, I don't want to go in detail, but I say that, you know what I did? What did it? Patches no. No, the forms. The issue, they are unable to open the forms. You believe me what we did already. We regenerated all the forms and the problem was fixed. It is related to forms. No, the same user can work with other module, but with the payable module they are unable to open. And not one user. All users are facing problem with one module. Which module? Say payable modules. So all the payable module forms we have regenerated. Problem is fixed. So these are interesting issues. So troubleshooting. But now coming to overall e-business suite performance troubleshooting is, you see, you know, like you must have the best thing is that like statistics. The best thing is, you know, I can say for this monitoring, you know, that this AWS or the StatPack. This is a very good actually. So we must always generate and look at this StatPack. This StatPack was till 9i, you know very well. From 10G it is AWR. You must always look at the AWR report. during the peak time, how this response time is going down, what is the load, how much load is coming to e-business suite database during the peak time, and then you will be able to see that what is the buffer cache hit ratios are there, and how much parsing is going on, or which particular wait events, especially for wait events, which particular overall performance, we have suppose overall performance problem is going on. Overall performance problem is going on. So you listen, the best overall performance is going on. The best and ultimate is wait events. I'm saying the best and ultimate is wait events. You have to catch wait events. So what are the wait events are there, and you have to fix according to the wait events. For example, the wait events are DB file scattered read at the code DBA level. I would really ask you to go and read those study. Because this is wait events actually. Time-based wait events. This is, for example, name of the wait, DB file scattered read, or you have a wait event called log sync, or log. You have, there is something called buffer busy, or so many are there, buffer busy. Yes, in Oracle E-Business Suite, these are very important, because in the Oracle E-Business Suite, more than 75% to 90% problem from database. 75%, 90. Okay, more than 90%. Okay, more than 90%. It is from what? This. So DB file scattered read, log sync. So you ask me that, like say overall performance is down. So what area I have to check? I would say the best ultimate is what? Wait events. Either you use AWR, or direct views also there. $V system event, $V event name. I think the code database there are views are there. You can find out the name of the wait events, and according to the wait event we have to solve the problem. For example, this wait event is for what? Full table scan, and this wait event is for log rater. So according to, we have to fix it. So why there are why there is a wait on full table scan? Why full table scan is going on? How to avoid full table scanning? Why optimizer is not making use of indexes? Because of lack of statistics, or because some parameters are not properly set? Okay, so we need to go. So if overall performance problem is there, this is the best wait events. So I can say the proactive tuning, as we discussed proactive tuning, you set all the parameters, you apply all the performance patches, and you run day-to-day, these are proactive. And the reactive tuning is this ultimately. Reactive tuning is through wait events. Catch all the wait events. But you have to study each and every wait event. If this wait event is, what is the cause of the wait event? Solution. What is the cause of the wait event? Solution. What is the solution? What is the cause of this wait event? Full table scan. What is the solution? You have to fix unnecessary full table scan. How do you fix? By using what? Indexes. Or indexes are there, optimizer is not using indexes. So you may have to, this is, believe me, this is very important. According to this Jonathan Lewis, he says that Oracle optimizer makes lots of mistakes also. Oracle optimizer makes lots of mistakes. Okay, you cannot just rely on Oracle optimizer by setting up the parameters. You have to proactively chase optimizer related bugs. And the same document 244040, oh, that keep in mind, 244040, oh, so single source. Yeah, two documents are for you, 244040 and then 396099. That's it. It's so good, Oracle people, they did easy our job. How do you find out performance related bugs, whether it is optimizer side or whether it is in any side? That 244040, that it will give you all the patches, performance patches. If there is a bug related to optimizer, there are patches are there in the document. And according to that guy, Lord Jonathan Lewis said that there are bugs are there, optimizer related bugs are there. So we have to apply all the optimizer related patches, bug fixing, and then you can expect good performance. So actually, you know what? How to interpret AWR report. If you start practicing now, so you can learn good actually. Initially, you may find a little difficulty, but by practice, you will find it easily. But one thing is, excellent part of the AWR report is that during the peak time, how much load is coming to your e-business suite database from the application side, within no time you can go there. and then you calculate that if this is the load, then performance will be okay. If the load is going beyond this, there is a threshold, then we are having problem. So that you must calculate it. Okay. There is something called load is there, load profile is there. In AWR report we have a load profile is there. And apart from that, we may have issues related to locks. Weights are there, locks are there. Locks, we cannot say they are weights, they are separate locks. So you have to be very quickly find out blocking locks. If there are blocking locks are there, you have to clear them. Blocking lock. Which session is causing blocking lock? Read all lock. Single view is enough. So in all cases, yes, you know, concurrent requests. One user is saying that my request still you know, running, but look, it's not moving actually. Maybe it is waiting for a lock. There is another job is running and that job is causing a lock. So you may have to find out who's a blocker, who's a waiter. Okay. So these locks are also important, and especially this which lock is very important? Blocking lock. And then deadlock. We have to make sure that deadlock should not happen. And when two concurrent programs monitoring. When two concurrent programs are running same time and they are causing deadlock, meaning that when these two concurrent programs are running, they are trying to lock each other. As a result, what is happening? Deadlock happening. And what we have to do? We have to make sure that these two concurrent programs should not run same time. And we can also define what? Incompatibility between these two concurrent programs. So when you say X and Y, X is incompatible to Y. Now what happened? If X is running, Y will not run. Y is running, X will not run. Then automatically this problem can be fixed. You want the two programs should not run same time. If they are running same time, they are causing deadlock. In a way, you know, that is another beautiful feature of Oracle application. How to make sure that two concurrent programs should not run same time? Incompatibility, conflict. That way also we can control. Or even if you are not doing it, you have to make sure that the end users, you have to tell end users, don't run this program same time. So deadlocks. And how do you know deadlocks? Deadlocks are automatically detected only by looking at the alert log which message ORA 60. So in alert log we see ORA 60. See, end users are running program, they know deadlock is happening. We never know. But when you are looking at alert log file, you know that there is a deadlock happening. At morning 11 o'clock there are deadlock happening. Yesterday 11 o'clock deadlock. Now 11 o'clock deadlock. 11:05 deadlock. So means that around that time there are programs are running and causing this deadlock. So we have to make sure that those programs should not run same time, or at least in time. And for blocking lock, we don't have any solution. Either commit, roll back, or we have to kill the session as a last option. So you know very well about those things. And then for troubleshooting, the last option what is remaining with us is gathering diagnostic data. For troubleshooting, gathering diagnostic data. Gathering diagnostic data. Now there are various ways are there to gather diagnostic data. Oracle even provides you patches, diagnostic patches are also there. To diagnose a specific issue, there are some patches are also there. For example, you know, there are you have some performance issues are there, or some bugs are there, or any general issues like your instance is hanging, or your you know, like your sessions are getting terminated, instance getting crashed. Okay, and we have regular locking related issues. We have it could be because of some bugs. So we need to gather detailed diagnostic data. We need to gather diagnostic data. So those patches are also there. Same, you apply the patches will gather diagnostic data. And those trace file, those log files, we have to give it to Oracle support people for further analysis. And other than that, for this, Oracle has given a standard tools. These tools you can use for even database or for evaluation, whatever. And these tools are these specialties, RDA, Remote Diagnostic Assistant. Remote Diagnostic Assistant. This RDA tool Okay. You can use this RDA tool and OS Watcher, especially this RDA, OS Watcher, you can use to get, apart from the patches, you can use these tools, RDA and these both you have to download from Oracle site. RDA stands for Remote Diagnostic Assistant, it gathers all the diagnostic data. OS Watcher gathers diagnostic data at the OS level and network level. So you will be having complete diagnostic data at the database level, at the OS level, at the network level also. And for example, like we have for application for forms we have forms runtime diagnostic, FRD, forms FRD also, the forms runtime diagnostic. So there is a, we can gather, we see how forms runtime diagnostic. At the form level also you can gather diagnostic data. At Apache level you can gather diagnostic data. Okay. At the OC4J level you can gather diagnostic data. And all they generate log files, forms, log files, OC4J log files, OC4J OECO log files, JVM log files. And these log files we have to analyze to know why things are going wrong, what is the issue. Sometimes you will find there are issues, related to sudden there is an increase in the CPU utilization. There is an increase in CPU utilization. There was another issue we used to have with JVM. Java virtual machine, JVMs, they were not releasing memory. It was a classic issue called memory leak. So there was a very critical issue called memory leak with JVM. And then later the solution came, the patches, okay, memory leak. So we may face this problem. Memory is initialized but not released. Or there is a CPU utilization going more and more and more, not going down but going more and more. So these are all bugs, mostly bugs. That's why you have to always look at the document, the documents, okay. And in Oracle support side you have list of known bugs, recently bugs, the bugs which are detected in the recent release or whatever we are working on. So this is, you have to keep track of those bugs actually. So we have seen that, like if we are regularly applying patches and all that, we will not face these issues. Again, like we may face these ultimately performance issues because we are not properly or we are not on time, we are applying patches. Not a proactive approach for patch application. I think this you will see this, how to run these RDA and all that. Just at the command line you have to run this RDA, it comes in both RDA.sh or RDA.perl. RDA.perl. This OS Watcher is also an OS utility. So this is going to gather remote diagnostic data, all that. OS Watcher is this. Start OS Watcher. Stop OS Watcher. So you want to capture, you can use Start OS Watcher. This is very good utility. This is very good actually. You have to pass two arguments, L1 and two arguments. When you are running OS Watcher, you have to pass two arguments. The first argument is interval in seconds. So what is at what interval you would like to run this OS Watcher? So when you run OS Watcher, it will start OS Watcher process, and this process will run in background and will capture all the OS statistics. Maybe you can say 30, every 30 seconds. And up to how much? For example, this is number of hours data, number of hours diagnostic data to be archived. So So you like to run for 1 hour, 2 hours? The first is the second. The second is hours, number of hours. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. How much you want? OS watcher. You know what internally this is doing? Internally it is calling various utilities. It is calling this star, VM start, IO start, and even net start, and these. So these all utilities are called by that OS watcher. So we don't know, sometimes the problem is in network, sometimes the problem is in OS because of swapping. Because of swapping, maybe there are performance problems are going on, or because most of the time we found this problem actually. You know, there is a performance is down. Sudden performance is down. When we were looking at AWR and all that, like, you know, everything, checking the statistics, everything was okay. So we found that, you know what, at OS level there was one process taking a lot of CPU cycle, consuming almost CPU, one process. And that is a root process, root level process. And it started after OS people applied some OS patches. So when we were killing that root process, we were not killing, we were asking. When the root process was killed, performance was okay. Again, after some time, again it was coming up. Once that process coming down, again performance was going down. Again killing, temporary solution. And the permanent solution was, later they applied another patch and the problem was fixed. But you know that DBA, RDBA, first to blame, right? Anything goes wrong, whether it is a performance problem in OS or network, who will blame first? Every time. End users will target whom? DBA, RDBA. Any problem, it is in your database, your database problem. Right? So whether it is OS, that's a later thing, network is a later thing. First we have to check.
What is the data archive? Where data archive?
Diagnostic data, like archiving, backup.
Okay.
That means it will back up for 2 hours. It will capture and it will back up for 2 hours. Number of hours diagnostic data to be archived. Okay, number of hours data to be archived, to be back up. So for 2 hours it will capture, it will back up. We may, you know, by looking at just half an hour data, we may not know actually. At least 1 hour, 2 hours diagnostic data, this will give you a clear picture. So where things are going wrong actually, at the OS level, at the network level.
So all these things are made to be done on the server side only, or
Server
anything
side.
is done on
Server. You are directly connecting to server. That's the interval. Every 30 seconds it will run capture. Every 30 seconds capture.
Capture and maybe need for 2 hours.
2 hours. That is it. You can say 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it is.
any tools that can be done on client side to know which are exactly nothing is being
Client side basically Oracle. No, no tool has been there till now. Client side. There are guidelines are there, but tools are not there. Whether your client configuration is okay or not, no.
After 2 hours, it will edit it automatically.
It stops. No, it stops. This OS watcher will stops. So when you run like this, it stops. After 2 hours, it will. If you want to stop in between, then you have to say stop OS watcher. Otherwise, after that time, it will stop.
So you have different sets of
Snapshots, various, every after 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. And that's in the same way that your AWR works, right? Every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, it will capture the snapshot. So that is at the database level, this is at OS level.
And later on, this will be after 2 hours, you have a great chunk of diagnostic data.
It's okay, no problem.
You need to maintain that also.
You need to, that means once you analyze it, then we don't need actually, later we don't need actually. Now we'll look at some general issues we have. User login related issues, is a very common issue we have. User will complain that I'm unable to log in. Unable to log in. Login related issues, database connectivity issues. Apache is unable to connect to database for the whatever, or the authentication problem. Connectivity between form server and database is the issue. So we have login related issues, connectivity related issues, or corruption. Your certain files getting corrupted. So this troubleshooting general issues when we are talking about this user logins related issues, user login related issues, or database connectivity related issues. You see, user login related issues are very common. A user will say that I am unable to log in. Maybe sometime he may forget his password. So what we do if a user forget, if unable to log in, means what we have to check? We have to check whether a user password maybe, So we have to change that. We have to assign another password using that FNTC pass utility. AF password new utility is also there. No, password is okay. User password is okay, but still user is unable to log in from his client machine. First thing we are checking what? Password. Second thing. User account might be disabled. If user account is disabled, so sometimes it happens that one account was disabled and now he is going to log in, again he cannot log in. So whether account is another issue. Anything one by one, step by step. No, but user cannot be created without responsibility. Right? And sometimes what happens, the responsibility might be disabled. But issue is in, you should also ask, can you try to log in from any other machine? So suppose if he is unable to log in, if he is able to log in from other machine, means he is a client machine. But that could be a problem, your client machine problem. So because of, cache problem, so he has to remove the cache. Sometimes it happens because of his client machine issues, So it may happen. Sometimes it happens actually. We face this problem. If that guy is able to connect from another machine, now say from another system also is unable to connect, then profiles, step by step. What is it going to check? Profile, user profiles, user profile. Same sysadmin, profile, user profiles, user profiles. So these are the changes, chances are that why a user is unable. These are the only, that's it. Individual user I'm talking. Because his machine, because of profiles, or because of maybe password related problem. Okay, so these are the, and another issue also we face. That same guy, he is getting some message, he is unable to log in, his account getting logged actually. His session was not clear before, in the previous session. He log out and again he is trying to log in after some time. So when we say monitor, when we are monitoring, still we say that guy is still there, but that guy is not there. It happened actually. Okay. On a which release, sometime it happens actually. So then what you have to do? Kill the session. Kill the session. If the previous session is not properly cleared, then kill the session and now user to log in. So if the session is, because of that also one time we faced problem that user was unable to log in. Kill the session. Now I'm coming step by step. All users are facing problem. So what do you suspect? All users are facing problem. So we can't check all your client machine. So you can't do that, right? So all users are unable to log in. So where you will check that? Very good. See, the thing is that Apache. Why Apache? Because when does Apache will connect to the database for internal authentication? When user log in. So there is an authentication related issue we have. No users are able to log in. When they give username and password, no response. So that means what we have to check? Database connectivity. Apache and database connectivity issue. And actually, you know what? We discussed that here basically Apache basically, it runs some servlets actually for authentication. and that will be executed by servlet engine only for authentication. But internally the database connection is not found actually. So now tell me, which file? Okay, I'll give you a hint actually. What is that file? DBC file. So step by step. Now all users facing problem, they are unable to log in. So even we are unable to log in, we have to check what? DBC file. So when we say a user login related issue, this file is very important. Okay? sh.dbc. This is very important. And in this file you find two accounts are there. One is application account, what do you call? Guest user. A database account, gateway user ID. Guest user and gateway user ID. Can you tell me what is the name of the gateway user ID? Apple Sys PUBG business. Suppose if these two accounts are disabled, suppose if the password is changed for these two accounts, authentication cannot be performed. In short, if there is any problem with this file, DBC file, authentication cannot be performed. This file. Now two things. How do you check whether this file is corrupted? How to verify this DBC file? If this DBC file is missing, how to recreate it, or how to check whether this DBC file exists or not? How do you find? So you know what? What is the location of this file? FND secure. FND secure. You know, FND secure. What is the name of this file? Name of the file? So these are basic things are there. Name of the file? You know what? This is the default. You know what this file name depends on? There is a profile is there called application ID. So that value and this name should match. So the name of this DBC file depends on a profile. What is the name of the profile? Application ID. The name of short name, application ID. This value, what is the default value? SID. Suppose if this is say TZ. So what should be the name of DBC? TZ.dbc. So suppose if this profile and this name doesn't match, this itself is a problem. Application, sorry, ID. Itself is a problem. That means the profile name is different, file name is different. So tell me if this is different, DBC file will never be found. And DB file is not found means authentication cannot be found. Simple rule, step by step, one by one. If DBC file is okay, this name and this name is okay. The profile name and this name is okay. Maybe this DBC file got corrected. Inside certain values might change. In the DBC file, the Apple Sys password is different. In the database, it is different. And now finally what you have to do, you know, the question, how to verify, validate DBC file? For that, Oracle has given a test. It is called AOLJ diagnostic test. So for validating the DBC file, you have to perform AOLJ diagnostic test. Perform AOLJ diagnostic test. Actually, this test for a couple of things. You can verify, validate DBC file. You can also check whether JSP is working or not, servlet is working or not. This is very interesting actually. This AOLJ diagnostic test. You can also log into user account, test login. Oh, there are a couple of things. I think practically you go through, then you will understand what you can do here. Actually, for this, Oracle has given a file called AOLJ test.jsp file. And this file, JSP file, you have to run from the browser, from the front-end browser. This file is there under common top. And the common top, this file is there, AOLJ test.jsp. You have to run this file from the browser, and then it will help you to perform this diagnostic test. And through this diagnostic test, you can perform a couple of things. You can verify, validate DBC file. You can check whether servlet is working or not, servlet engine. You can also test user login. I am unable to log in. So whether his username password is right or wrong, you can test here from here. You enter username and password, so you will be able to log in. Means username password is without actual login. You are not actually logging. You are doing what? What is called this? Test login. Okay, test login. So you can do all these things from here. This is the graphical interface. From this interface, diagnostic, you can perform the diagnostic. You see practically, you will understand, very simple. If DBC file is missing, it will tell you it is missing. If it is there, but some entries is matching, I told you again, the password in the database is changed, but in the DBC file it is not changed. So this will tell you that the password is not matching. So we'll understand that, oh, we have to change the password. So it's a very good test actually. UJ diagnostic test.
So what is JSP when the file contains
This JSP? No, this is a file. This through this. Actually, this diagnostic is written in this file. This is a program actually. This is a diagnostic test program actually, and this we have to run from the browser. So you are running this diagnostic test using this program. This is a JSP, is a Java server page program. It is a program actually. So we'll stop here, and then whenever you want to check connectivity related issues, connectivity. So always do one thing, you try to connect using SQL Plus utility from 10.1.2 home and 10.1.3 home. If you are able to connect from 10.1.2 home or 10.1.3 home using SQL Plus utility, means your backend connectivity is okay. Your listener, your TNS service is okay. So whenever you want to do testing, connectivity testing, use SQL Plus utility from 10.1.2 home, from 10.1.3 home. If you are able to connect this, it is okay, connectivity. If you are, one more time, it's very important. If you are able to connect from 10.1.2 home, meaning what? Your forms is okay, your concurrent manager is okay, means all services running under 10.1.2, they are okay. If you are able to connect from 10.1.3 home, Apache and OA core, they are basically okay. That means connectivity issue is okay, not an issue. Your TNS service listener is okay. So this you can see practically how to do the basic testing.
How do you recreate
This which one?
this?
There is a utility there, adgendbc.sh, adgendb, we'll discuss again, adgendbc.sh or admin server utility is there. There is another utility there called admin server utility is there, adgendbc.sh or admin server, I'll tell you. Using that you can recreate .dbc file. But I would say that you better maintain the backup. You know, we always maintain the backup of this context file. You always maintain the backup of this. Even when you run this autoconfig also, when you run autoconfig also, this file is created. But this file is created, whatever changes you make later, those changes will be gone. So better the default value will come again. So better take the backup. The best is the backup. Simple way to re-get it is through autoconfig. When you run autoconfig, this file will be created. So I think these are the few things you can just go through it, and then further some points are there related to troubleshooting. So the corruption issues, if an executable is corrupted, how we are going to check, e-business or any utility got corrupted, how you validate, how you relink, okay. And some maybe more specific issues related to Apache. And one thing is that you need to have a very good knowledge about the log files. Troubleshooting means what? Log file, the alert log file, listener log file, Apache log file. And can you tell me one common location for all log files? Quick. One common location?
Log home.
Very good. Log underscore home. That's a very good. Log underscore home. Where is that? It is pointing to what? INST top. Under INST top you have log. Aura is there, Apple is there. So there you have concurrent request log file, isn't it? A user is saying that I submitted a request and it is completed with an error. So you have to look at that concurrent request log file, isn't it? So where? Same location, log home. Apache log files. Okay. If any Apache log file, we have to check it. But I'll tell you a little more about those, how you define the log level. You want to capture more detailed logging, less log level also you can define. Log level. There is something called log level is there. So I think whatever few things you can go through practical sessions. And then tomorrow more about troubleshooting, and then we have to look at shared app style. Next topic we are going to talk about shared app style. Shared app style.